Hello everyone, welcome to a new video and happy new year, happy 2021. I know we've been flung straight into another lockdown, pandemic's still going strong, but you know, we're going to try and have a strong year. We're going to try and start strong and move right into it with this, which I've very kindly been lent by a good friend today, the 911 991 Targa GTS. So, I put a little poll out last night on Instagram to see what people would prefer, or what the general public prefer, fellow petrol heads out there, whether it's the Targa 4 GTS or the Aston Martin Vantage. And it actually came back with an almost perfect 50-50 for each. And I know I was very close to buying a GTS before I bought the Vantage. They're a very, very capable, very impressive car, especially in the Targa form. Targa just so iconic with Porsche, and not only that, the fact that you can take the roof down when you want to and listen to 450 brake horsepower firing out the back of your GTS. So, first impressions of this car are very, very positive. I've only driven this car for the past kind of 10-15 minutes in normal settings. And this car is as comfortable and capable as any everyday saloon car, every luxurious GT. But move through the modes here, a little Manatino here, work through the settings, and it becomes a very, very different beast entirely. So, performance-wise, how does this fare against the Vantage? Well, it's a close one. I'd definitely say it's a close one. In the GTS, we're pushing 450 brake through the very, very well-known Porsche Flat 6, as opposed to the Aston Martin's AMG derived V8. But my God, does this thing pull. That coupled with a four-wheel drive system, and you've just got endless Endless grip. So the torque figures are definitely down on the Vantage. I think as we saw in Jack's GT3, the torque comes in quite a bit higher up the rev range in the Porsche, and it's a little bit down around 400 foot-pounds to the Aston's 500. But the delivery is very different. It's very precise. Now let's talk about the gearbox in this, because there's a lot of interaction between that engine and the gearbox. We are running a very famous Porsche PDK gearbox, which is arguably one of the best gearboxes out there, one of the best dual clutch gearboxes. And today, yeah, I think I'd agree, you cannot fault this gearbox. It is absolutely flawless. So, Let's talk about steering in this car. Very, very precise. Feels a little bit heavier than the Aston, strangely enough. I expected it to feel a little bit lighter. I think it felt a little bit lighter in the GT3, but it feels strangely a little bit heavier in this car. But I think that probably just adds to the fact that the GTS is more of a usable everyday car, and also a car with a certain level of luxury where, you know, you're not putting it onto racetracks, and you're not, you know, dragging around country roads every single day. You want it to feel luxury, you want it to feel heavy, you want to feel a bit of weight behind it. And at the end of the day, there may be something with that. This may feel heavier because it is, well, it's a heavier car, especially heavier than the GT3. So I'm in Sport Plus at the minute, which is the hardest damper setting in this car, and it's still perfectly usable. You know, it doesn't jolt around the road. It's a much lighter ride, well, a much softer ride than the GT3 that we drove the other day over the peaks. But it's expected to be. This is, at the end of the day, an everyday sports car. And to be honest, the figures in this take it very close to supercar level, even though this car weighs, you know, upwards of kind of 1,700 kilograms because of the four-wheel drive system and the Targa roof. It's still a rapid car. Don't let those figures fool you. This car with the PDK options will hit 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds and go on to a top speed of 190 miles an hour, which isn't bad. And it'll rev all the way to 7,500 RPM. Brakes, very, very nice. Just running steels on this, same as the Aston, but very, very good brakes. Just very nice and progressive, not too bitey. It gives you everything you need, even with that excess power in these wet conditions. And my God, that four-wheel drive system. The four-wheel drive system in this car just gives you so much faith. When you're driving the Aston, you kind of, as much as you trust the dynamics of the car, you know, the chassis design, the suspension, you're always a little bit terrified because the dashboard looks like a Christmas tree with all the lights flashing, traction control lights. But in this one, you just never lose traction. The system in this is just unbeatable. This is one hell of a car. The Aston is much more of an aggressive drive in the sense that just the noise, the theatre about it all. This is very, very controlled. It does lack maybe the noise and the aggressive punch of the Vantage. And I think that has something to do with how quickly that torque comes in for the Aston. It's very low down the rev range, where this is slightly higher and revs a bit higher as well. But they are two very different beasts to drive. I think noise, people have always had a problem with Porsches and noise. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear the Porsche doesn't sound bad by any means. You know, it's got that beautiful flat six screaming in the back, but I just love a V8. But the traction, the way this thing takes off, so nimble, which for quite a heavy car is quite an impressive feat. just feels so rapid. Hint you, I'm very, very, very impressed. So yeah, it's a, you know what, it's a very, very hard one to choose. I don't think you'd be disappointed. Gear shift. I don't think you'd be disappointed to wake up with either of these sat on your drive. And you know, I think if this was up against the old Aston Martin Vantage, there'd be no contest. This would absolutely wipe the floor in it. I think Aston have done a lot of work of late on their cars to really bring them up towards the standard, and the standard being that Porsche product. Porsche do things very, very well and have many, many lifelong fans. So it's a close one. This is a great car. It's a usable, everyday, amazing sports car. It's hard. This is a hard car to fault. It really is a very hard car to fault. And if you want a car that will do almost everything and do it in style, this is the car for you. Okay, so we've run through everything on this car against the Vantage, and just in general, this is an incredible car, but there is one thing that we have yet to do, because this is no ordinary GTS. This is the GTS Targa. So I think there's one thing that we need to do. The sun is shining, I'm wrapped up, and that is pull the roof down. With that roof off, it becomes a very, very different offering, a very different beast entirely. This is something you can't do in the Vantage. This becomes so much more fun with the top off. You can just hear the character of that beautiful flat six, and even though it's freezing and I'm wearing about 4 layers and it's the beginning of January and it's wet, I don't care, because this is amazing. Just gripping and gripping and gripping. What a car. I'm gonna have to take this back soon. I'm quite sad about that. So yes, Porsche. This really just has added a different this really adds a different dynamic to the car, and it makes it an even harder decision between this and the Vantage. The Vantage is a brutal car, scary fast, tons of control, lots of theatre, noises, crackles, bangs, everything. This is precision. This is precision and speed in comfort. Yeah, it's a very impressive car. What a car this is. once again, thank you very much for joining. Happy 2021. Let's make this a much better year. Let's smash 2021. Lots more to come, and thank you for the support so far. Thank you very much to Steve for lending me his incredible 911 GTS Targa for the day. This has been incredible, and I promise that I'll get it clean for you. And I owe you a tank of petrol, I'm sure, as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. It's been an amazing day, beautiful day today. We're gonna have an amazing year. Let's stay positive, everyone. Let's stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.